Welcome everyone, Mike coming to you guys today from downtown Denison, Texas. Now I recently moved to the Texoma area and I keep hearing Denison's downtown is a great place to be. So today we're gonna stroll down Main Street and see what we can find. Here's some great restaurants. While I'm not hungry today, I could go for some ice cream or a good cup of coffee. Let's go ahead and start this vlog. So we're gonna start our journey here at the corner of Austin Avenue in Main Street. One of the first things I've noticed right off the bat is there are a ton of murals downtown and old ghost signs. So I'm gonna try to document as many of those as I can for you guys. And right behind where I filmed that last scene is another one. Looks like Eisenhower, who was actually born here in Denison, Texas. Leadership in the American flag. And when I said there's a lot of murals, I meant a lot. I haven't even left the corner of Austin and Main. We've seen 3 already. This one's here is for the sister city with France. Looks like they're sister cities with Cognac, France. Always curious how those sister cities come about. It was something fun to do back in the 19th century. Communicate with people across the world. Maybe something I should research a little bit more. So we're gonna walk straight up Main Street, like I said earlier, and to see what we can find. But so far, I'm already loving this. It's a 95-degree day, and there's some kind of breeze down through here on Main Street. It feels kind of nice. I don't realize how hot it is with this breeze. Here we have the old Eisenhower Theater, and looks now to be a brewery. Yeah, looks to be Ivanhoe Ale Works. You know, I quit drinking about a year and a half ago. And that's one thing I miss is going to local breweries. I wish more made their own NAs. A lot of times you can go to a brewery and they still sell NAs, but it's for usually from like Athletic, which is great, or a brewery up north. But not many local breweries that I found here in Texas sells NAs. If you know of any, let me know in the comments below. Right outside of Usher and Company, what looks to be a women's apparel shop, is a statue of a woman taking a selfie. And this statue is appropriately named Selfie Girl. They have made this downtown very walkable, very peaceful. You put a water feature, I'm sold. Absolutely love water. But while as nice as it is, the downtown area is still a work in progress. This part of the street is shut off for construction. More reason to come here and shop. If you've ever owned a business, you know that when there's construction, it impacts you big time, and businesses need you more than ever. And it's only appropriate that an antique sign is advertising an antique store. Vintage mercantile. I can appreciate antiques, but I'm also somewhat of a minimalist. So I hate buying things only to have it clutter up my house. Unless it's 80s movie and music memorabilia. That I'll let clutter my house. To give you an idea of how much construction can impact a business, across the street from the antique store is Cafe Blackbird. And this is a place that I've heard is incredible and I want to try. And had this been a normal Saturday afternoon, I could just cross the street and give it a try. But now, because of all the construction, I can't do that. In fact, this goes on for about 2 more blocks before I can go back there and cross the street. Now, normally I would easily go down there, go out of my way to try the business because I really want to try them and support them, but they're closed right now. Not quite sure of what the hours are, but right now it's about 4 p.m. on a Saturday. Maybe they're just a lunch spot. I don't know, but another reason to come back to Denison. Less than a quarter mile up Main Street from Ivanhoe Ale Works, you have Landon Winery. So if you're in a group where some people like wine and some people like beer, you're not that far away. This Main Street patio is pretty cool. Nobody's out here because, like I said earlier, it's about 95 degrees, but this breeze, like I said, isn't bad. So the construction continues. Narrow walkways. I was fortunately in the way of a couple walking down earlier, filming, but they were polite. But man, this is narrow. This is going to take me off Main Street, back to a back alley, back out on Main Street. In the alley, pretty cool little dumpsters here. Some music theming, some guitars. And this one over here has some musical notes. I wonder if there's a music venue nearby or a music school. Paint job on this one is a little bit more fresh. It's pretty nice. Looks like there is a studio nearby though. Well, because of the detour, I'm on a street I did not plan on visiting. I'd have missed these murals here. Got Major Joel Butler, part of the Tuskegee Airmen. And right next to that one, this is another one of Eisenhower. And it's got a quote that I think every small town high school football coach had used to pump up their players. What counts is not necessarily the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. God, I heard that 100 times growing up. Okay, so here's a mural that's gonna be next to impossible to film for you guys. That's because of all the construction. But that is Captain Sully Sullenberg from the Miracle on the Hudson. He was actually raised here in Denison, class of '69. What he did that day to land that plane and save all those lives was pretty cool. But I always go back to an SNL joke I saw. If he was that good of a pilot, why didn't he just avoid the birds? Impossible to do, but I thought it was a funny joke. Man, you can tell some of these businesses are hurting. We got 34 Chop House with the sign saying, we're still open. This is gonna be some serious growing pains, but I think once it's done, it's gonna be pretty awesome. Another open for business sign. The 4 gifts unique. This store is closed for the day, but pretty cool. Monsters on Main. It's like they take recycled fabric and make monster pillows. My daughter, when she was 5, was diagnosed with cancer. We were actually gifted one of these. I had no clue it was an actual store. So I said I hoped I'd find a place where I could get coffee or ice cream, and went ahead and stopped into Hey Sugar. This place looked pretty cool. So let's get some ice cream. Pretty big menu. And when it comes to ice cream, I'm pretty simple. Cookies and cream. But I may explore a little bit here. In addition to ice cream and candy, they got a lot of baked goods here as well. They even have sugar-free chocolates. pretty good start. Very creamy. That was good. The sign out front says it's homemade ice cream, made in store. This is nice. I don't think I've ever had a milkshake like this outside of vanilla. I don't think I've ever had one. You may think that's kind of weird, but I honestly didn't eat ice cream until I got married. So, still kind of new to the whole ice cream thing overall, but I like this. So we're about halfway down Main Street. This is a nice, refreshing break to take. We got a nice breeze in between the buildings. It's still a little toasty, but not too bad. Finish this up and be able to carry on. I like those chunks. So that was a nice little break. So let's go ahead and keep exploring, see what Downtown Denison has to offer. Definitely have more antiques here at the Main Street Mall. As I was filming that last clip, this definitely caught my attention. My wife would murder me if I brought this home, but I want it. The store is like a mercantile, different booths, a lot of cool stuff. So far, my favorite part has been all the sports memorabilia. I don't even like basketball, but I like Dirk. One of my favorite athletes of all time, just because he's a good dude. And all these mugs, some Doors Funkos. I need to get out of here. I might find some 80s stuff. And I did. Ronald Reagan Funko. I think I'm gonna pass though. This one really hurts. Never thought I would see Nintendos in an antique store, but here we are. That store was freaking awesome. I had to take myself out of there. Like I said, trying to be a minimalist, and there's a lot of stuff in there that would just take up space and that I'd never use. But right next door is the coffee house I was hoping to find. That ice cream is enough. But across from there is another mural. This is like a space piano theme. I like it. So now we're right across the street from the Barrett Building, pretty much the end of downtown Main Street. There are a few more buildings this way, including a pretty cool little ice cream sign over there, if I can zoom in to show you guys. About as far as it'll let me zoom. But what we're gonna do is walk down the other side of Main Street. This sign of a little ice skater looks like it might have rotated at one point in time, but I don't see where there could have been an ice rink. Maybe over there, is that called the Rustico? Did that used to be an ice skating rink? If anybody from Denison, Texas knows, tell me in the comments below. But that looks like that might have been a rink at some point in time. So this building is now climate controlled storage. They left the old signs here. Looks like it might have been a department store. Got some luggage, cameras, and radios. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that. You know, if you're gonna make the building something else for what it used to be and leave some of the old signage, I think that's pretty freaking awesome. All right, come across Sparrow's Art Gallery. Well, let's go inside and hopefully they let me film inside. So I got a chance to chat with Mark, the owner of the Sparrow Art Gallery. This is actually a partnership with Knight Furniture. Night Furniture sells the furniture, but instead of being a generic paintings on the wall, they actually showcase 34 different artists. Some are local, some are national, but Mark says he knows the stories behind every artist that's on display here. That's some cool freaking marketing, if you ask me. And here, we have an artist who has a painting of Downtown Denison. This is actually the Ivanhoe Ale House that I showed you guys earlier. This one here might be my favorite. It's a barbecue joint with soda. And ever since I quit drinking, soda's been a big part of my life. I love soda now. I don't know if it's any better for me than drinking was, but to that and barbecue, I'm all for it. If you guys don't know, I have another channel called Bowers Barbecue. And check that out. I'm walking away from it, but Hey Sugar, the ice cream shop and candy store that I was at earlier, is blasting 50s music over the speakers. Kind of adds a cool little ambiance to the whole downtown area here. And this place feels like you're in the 50s. It's nice to see something thriving. Again, I hope this construction finishes soon, because check this out. There's a ton of it. But I think once it's done, it's gonna be pretty nice down here. Let me clarify. At least be nicer than what it already is, because I think it's pretty daggum nice right now. I'm enjoying this little walk. I want to come back and grab some dinner sometime. And when I do come back here for dinner, I think 34 Chop House is where I'm going to go. Checked out the menu. It looks pretty awesome. So here's Cafe Blackbird. I showed you guys earlier. Like I said, I've heard about this place as well. Wouldn't mind trying it. Sadly closed right now, but it's directly across the street from that antique shop I showed you guys at the beginning of the video. Got another water feature here. This one spells out Katie. Not sure what that's in reference to, but a neat water feature. I missed this at the beginning of my walk, but there's a Domino's down here. I'm torn on what to think. I kind of wish the older buildings were reserved for mom and pops, but at the same time, it's kind of cool to see the old and the new mixed together. Either way, in the end, it's business, and any business is good for a small town, even if it's a chain. Domino's definitely provides a purpose for the community, or wouldn't be here, and also provides some jobs as well. So that beeping and the Austin Avenue sign means I am back to where I started from. The north side was neat, a lot of construction on that side, a lot of restaurants, so it wasn't much to show you guys, but man, I had a great time filming this for you. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It means the world to me. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Trying to grow this channel. I'm having fun just kind of filming whatever I come across or find interesting for you guys. Hopefully somebody out there finds it interesting too. All right, until next week's video, y'all have a great week. Bye.